times, and every time you hear it, you're like, I'm not gonna bump to this song, but then you start catching a vibe. I'm sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Love with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Love with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Love with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Love with the gang, gang, gang. You know. Yeah. Whoa. East Coast with that gang, gang. You know we don't play games. Whoa. Hop up on that wagon. Oh, please just get out the way. You know we stay stuck.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Here's diet culture.
Did you know that food has no moral value, so there's no such thing as a good or a bad food?
I'm gonna throw you in the fire!
I pooped myself.
Gross.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
I say, Swole norms.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 23 Hundo and 68 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gaincast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustles, and your host? It's your boy, Papa Swolio, back with another episode. And today's episode of the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2 Flexin' on all you be.
It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer. It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
All right, fam, welcome to the show. Hit that like button, subscribe, all that good shit. Leave us a 5-star review wherever you're banging your ear holes. But of course, you're watching me live, and it is our Red, White, and Swole Sunday Fun Day Q and Anus. Let's get a little round of applause. Fan-fucking-tastic. So we will take tons of questions. You can start dropping them in the comments down below. Hashtag AskPapaSwolio. Let's summon the Falcon. Make sure you check all the links in the show notes down below to join the greatest fam in the realm over at swolenormousx.com. And I am very, very stoked. I will tell you, before we get into all the questions and stuff, we got an accountability meeting tomorrow. The world-renowned Swole Fam accountability meeting. Let's fucking go tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time, October the 20th. It's All Hallows Eve and all that shit. So tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time, we will have Swole Fam post private member Q&A, and of course, we'll talk about some brand new releases. We got new drops. Super stoked to lay them thick upon thee. So I'll see you tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. The episode will be private, so join the fam right now, swolenormousx.com. What's up, Jen, Nancy, TCAP, Cerny, Guy over there in the Daily Swole Telegram chat. Hello, howdy, come one, come all. Let's summon the Falcon and get today's Q and Anus started, shall we, fam? Falcon. Let's go. Let's go. Put some respect on this. A bunch of you are commenting. You're like, more dick draft? Could it be some more dick draft? Of course it is. Of course it is. I thought about it. I thought about what else is it going to be today, but if we're trying to unite this country, we need more members. We need more volunteers. We need more people, more men and ladies, more savage swole sluts on the front lines for the dick draft. So hashtag dick draft. We just can't leave it. More dick draft. More.
Because dickers.
More. All right. So we are jumping right into it. If you're new to the show, on Sundays, we just take questions. So you could drop your questions in the comments down below. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. Let's get it started. Let's go on Instagram. Let's get it started over here from MaxVale63 asking me, Papa Swolio, what does your training split look like? We've talked about this a lot. I generally do some sort of upper or lower, usually like chest and biceps or chest and back or back and triceps. Sometimes I'll do a separate shoulder day, depending. I'll do a day for a heavy mace. I usually start up and warm up with some light mace or light clubs. Today I did a little bit of just mobility. I did some pull-ups, some ring pull-ups. Today was just kind of like casual mobility. Didn't really feel like a heavy resistance day, but I still did some mobility work. I did some ring pull-ups. I did some Persian meals. I did some of the Indian joris. So a little bit of some club work in that sense, and some very light mace as well. And then I did some calf work and some couple other things. So a little bit of accessories, some mobility, light day, beautiful day outside. So I just want to get outside today, but generally an upper body or a lower body day, working in some heavier mace and heavier club days. Mace and steel club, I mean, and other things. Okay, let's take a phone call. Remember, askpapaswolio.com to submit a phone call, to submit a question. AskPapaSwolio.com. Today we got Bethany on the line. Bethany, you are live on the Sleazecast.
Okay, so I actually just realized that you posted this news stories and I just messaged you on Instagram. But anyway, don't mind me. I'm walking on the treadmill right now. But
nice.
I'm a mom of 2, and my husband works super crazy hours that I don't really have the freedom to go to the gym when I went to. So I've just been working out at home, and my weights are limited and my bands are limited. And I'm starting to get to a point where I'm getting too strong for the weights that I do have, which is great. But like, we don't have the space for like a huge gym like I would like. So I've been looking into the Vitruvian, and I was curious as to what your thoughts are on the Vitruvian Trainer Plus. It would be great to hear back what your thoughts are about that for a home gym that's more spacious.
Thank you for the question. I have no idea what that is. So that must be something new. Is anyone else familiar with what that is? Is it like a Bowflex? I don't know what that is. So first off, I don't know what that training system is. I have no idea. But I'm gonna posit this, Bethany. So one, that's fantastic that you're getting stronger. I think home gyms are fantastic. It's an investment. Yes, it's more money up front, but you're not paying regular monthly fees. So over the long term, it's cheaper. And plus, if it's more accessible for you to do it because you have kids and you can't always go and get to the gym, understood. But these are investments that you can make. Plus, when you're training at home, your kids get to see you train. And that's very important. They're going to want to get involved, and they're going to see mommy like separating, scheduling out some time and getting after it. So I think that's important. But what I would say, I don't know if you're it doesn't sound like you're officially a member of the Swole fam. I encourage you to join for all your yoga and training needs as well. But I would give some more details, because I think you'd be surprised as to what you can do with space in a gym. Or what you can do with some gym space, because my indoor gym is actually kind of like next to the kitchen. It's like through the countertop. I'll share some more pictures, but literally maximized. There's a ton of space in there. And especially if you can get a rack or a half rack in there, you can do all exercise within that rack. Plus, if you have a little bit more of like living room space or some other space, you could do some kettlebell stuff. You could do some free weight stuff. But if you have enough space for a half rack, and most people don't realize how much space they actually have. And especially depends on what your goals are, what type of equipment. So there's a lot of folding racks. There are a lot of amazing space saving things that you can move towards. So I don't want to, I don't want to, I'm not discounting whatever the platform is that you mentioned. I'm not familiar with. So, but I will say that there are amazing tools when it comes to home gym equipment. There's the PRX racks, there's folding Rogue racks. There's a lot of companies that make folding racks. I think Rep Fitness probably makes one. So there's a lot of different ones from different price points. You're not going to need some hardcore, super heavy duty, rated for 3,000 fucking pounds of a squat rack. But we have, in other words, I'm going to share some content. The gym is coming along really well. Hung all the maces on the wall, all the bars on the wall. And of course, you're not going to need, from the sound of it, you're not going to need 95% of the equipment that I have. But you can do a lot. You can do a lot with minimum space. And since 2019, 2020, when a lot of places were shutting down and gyms were shut down, a lot of these home gyms and these companies really thrived. And there have been a lot of innovations, a lot of new types of equipment for home gyms that have come out. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do with small space. So without knowing what you have, don't discount how much space you have, because you might have more space than I do for my inside gym. You really might. Of course, I do a lot of training outside, but I have a setup inside where I can't do mace stuff inside. We don't have high enough ceilings, but I could do some club work. I could do all that stuff if the weather is completely horrible. We're going to put some like overhangs outside in case it rains and I still want to train outside. But bottom line, I have a space inside where I can train and do certain things, and I have a space outside. So for you, do not doubt how much you can get done or how much you can construct in your space. And of course, if you move to a different space, you could always bring it where you go. Okay, so I'm not familiar. Someone shared a picture in the Telegram chat. It says, hello to the Trainer Plus and your most effective flexible workout. So it looks like, what does it look like? It looks like a block on the bottom, and I guess it has cables. So I guess you're doing things. It looks like it could be cool. It really depends on what your goals are and what you expect to have. So obviously that's not going to take up much space at all. Looks like a little platform with the bar. So I'm sure it has some kind of gears, or it has some sort of, I guess, momentum or inertia cabling on the inside that provides resistance. Maybe it provides more resistance when you pull harder. So it could be a good option. I couldn't give you like a personal breakdown of that. I will say that for that kind of space, honestly, if you have the space right there for this Vitruvian thing, I'm not sure what the price point. Who shared that? Was that Sean? How much does that cost? Just curious. So you could also, if you have space for that device, then you can have space for kettlebells. You could have a couple kettlebells, and it doesn't mean you have to do kettlebells, but you could do that. Plus you could do some kettlebell work. Like, you have enough space. All you really need is like a prison cell type space to do kettlebells, to do that. That could be a tool. I wouldn't say that whatever this Vitruvian thing is would be something that should be the only thing that you do, but it can be one of those things that you fold up and put to the side, or that you use in your home gym space. So it could be a great place to start. I don't know. I can't speak for it. I haven't seen any videos. I don't really know much about it. I know nothing about it. Actually, I just saw a picture. Someone shared a picture in the Telegram chat. So, but don't underestimate what you can get done in a small space. There are a lot of things that you can, do in a small space. Thank you for the post. Oh, holy shit. So thank you for sharing the picture. Sean shared a picture saying the Trainer Plus 12, I guess there's 12 months all access membership included. So I guess I have some online training, $3,000, $2,890. I'm assuming that's not including shipping. So shipping calculated. So $3,000 plus. Yeesh. Yikes. $3,000 for this like platform that I guess you have cables, you could do leg stuff. That's a lot. That's a lot for something that's kind of gimmicky. Again, I don't know if there's like actually, if it's made really well, what if it breaks? I mean, for $3,000, I'm just saying. So, okay. So Bethany, here's another thing. I know we're going long on this question, but I think a lot of people are really curious about home gym type stuff. If you're going to spend $3,000 on this Trainer Plus thing, that's probably just going to collect dust for the most part. Just saying. For $3,000. And this is like, for $3,000, you can get everything you need from Rogue. And most people agree, as much as Rogue makes great stuff, most of my stuff is Rogue, and I love Rogue equipment, there is less expensive stuff that's equally as good, especially for most people out there. There are much like less expensive brands for barbells or for racks. For $3,000, you could get a folding rack, you can get barbells, you can get plates, you can get kettlebells, you can get all that and probably have money to spare, including the shipping. So I'm not saying you're going to pay it off in one chunk, but because that is, if you were showing me this Trainer Plus thing and it was like $600, I'm like, all right. But for $3,000, you can get all sorts of equipment. I just feel like that's the kind of thing that it would just get real old real quick. And it's gonna be the same fucking cable, same stress. You can get so many different types of stress. You can get a full set of bands. You can get a few kettlebells. I'll take you from, you can get a light kettlebell, a heavier one for swings. You can do so much stuff with kettlebells. You can do every body part. And if you get like 3 kettlebells, that'll cost you under $200. To get 3 kettlebells, that would be plenty for you for a long time to practice. A lighter one, a middle one, and like a heavier one for kettlebell swings and like sumo squats and stuff. That's just, it'll be under $200. You can get an annual membership to Swolenormous X. You can get a club, a mace. You can get a rack. You can get That's my opinion. If you're gonna spend that much, I would get some real shit. I would get some real exercise equipment. And plus it's fun. It's fun to build out your gym. It's fun to build out your gym. And the good news is if you buy something or you get something, look on Facebook Marketplace, look on OfferUp, you can upgrade. You start somewhere and then, hey, I saved up some more money. I want to get something else. And you sell what you have and then you buy something else. It's fun. It's fun to build a gym. It's fun to build it out. And it's fun to strategize. Again, you might not think you have a lot of space. I should do the square footage of my gym. And it's not ideal. It's a long rectangular. It's very long. It's narrow. It wasn't designed. Like we could have put the gym in where the living room is. And Mama Swole was actually, saying like, yeah, we could put the gym in here. But it wasn't, I didn't want to make the whole, personally, I didn't want to make the whole house like front facing a gym. Cause that's where we like to hang out and lay around. If anything, I'll get like a shipping container outside, but I'm training stuff outside anyway. Most of the time I'm grabbing some of this other stuff. I'm going outside in the sun. So I'm doing some stuff outside, then I'm coming in and doing a couple exercises inside. I do a lot of my squats and stuff inside because it's easier than bringing all the bars and the plates outside. So maybe I'll get some bars and plates eventually that just stay outside all the time. So I don't have to like bring shit out there. Cause that's really like, I'll just do it inside because it's easier, but it's fun building it out. It's fun building out the gym. It's like collectibles, I guess. If you like collecting things, if you like, I don't know, if you like collecting things, if you like Legos, you're just building it. And yeah, like I said, it's more expensive up front, but the reason why I'm mentioning all this is because if Bethany's looking to spend $3,000 for that cable gimmicky thing, for fuck's sake, like you can build out a sick home gym for probably $2,000. Anyway. All right. Just saying. And that's a start too. And here's the thing, when you get that kind of, if you get the Vitruvian thing, you're right. Here's one more point. And I know we're going long on this, but I think it's really important. If you get that one piece of equipment, it's good for that. It has the cables that pull up out of it. And all you can do is like whatever attachments, you put cables, you put ankle straps on, you can put handles, you can put a bar. Okay, but it only does that. So, you're getting so many different types of training protocols with for the same amount of money. Like you're only getting that type of resistance. And strength training is much more than just dumbbells. I mean, dumbbells are a tool. The cables or whatever that resistance is, it's a tool. But with that price, you can give yourself so many different types of stress and you'll develop in so many different ways. So you're limited to whatever that machine can do. And it really comes down to this whole rant is just like, it looks boring to me. And that's just, Bethany, it looks new. You don't have it yet. Oh, it says, it's all in one. Nothing's all in one. A kettlebell is all in one, but it depends on how you use it, right? A barbell is all in one. I just think you have more space than you think you do. And it might be because maybe you're not aware of all the types of equipment there are out there that you can anchor. Like you can have a folding rack that folds to your wall, and then you pull it down and you have a bar that you can hang on the wall. It doesn't take up any space unless you want it to. And then, hey, you pull it down, you squat, and then you put it back. And then there's nothing on the ground. Like you can hang shit on the wall. And it'll take up no space. PRX has that. Rogue has folding racks. I'm sure a lot of companies do. Anyway, you get but I'm just saying for that price, for $3,000, you can get the rack, you can get the bar, you can get the plates, you can get everything. Ring, you can get everything on that. Tyler, what are your thoughts and opinions on antiperspirant? I don't use it. You're supposed to sweat, not glue up your pores. Most of the time that stuff has parabens and phthalates and aluminum and stuff like that. You're literally blocking your pores because you don't want your body to sweat. That's how you cool yourself off. You're supposed to sweat. You're supposed to sweat. So those are my thoughts on it. Not good. But I know some people be like, well, I can't sweat at my job. And it's like, I mean, I don't want to put chemicals and literally like super glue my pores shut. And it's not that you are just blocking your body from sweating. It's also your body's absorbing. When your pores are opening, you're sweating, you're also absorbing all those chemicals in your body. And yeah, I agree. Lacey says if you eat quality foods, you don't stink. It's true. And come on, if you're eating like peppers and onions all the time, you're going to reek. People that eat garbage food, like it comes out like vinegar and all these different smells. It comes out. Like you smell this kind of shit. Remember, hashtag Dick Draft for a chance to win.
Because.
When are the latest Signature Series cards going out, Josh? Shortly. Should be this week. We just have to wait for some extra envelopes and stickers, and then got backed up a little bit. So they're going out. We're going to have those going out. We have P3S5 dropping soon. So very, very exciting times. We got a lot of shit going down. We got P3S5 on December 1st. So a month away from P3S5. Get some gorillas. We also have, we're closing down. We're almost done with Fuck Your Pumpkin Spice season and Pumpkinhead Go to the Fucking Gym. So jump on those over at papaswolio.com. Shameless plug. Use code DailySwole for 10% off. Check out all those new designs. We got some new drops tomorrow. Shh, don't tell anyone. We'll talk about it in the accountability meeting. Swole Fam gets first dibs. First dibs tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. Live call. We'll see you then, Swole Fam. It's going to be fucking slick. It's going to be sweet, man. All right, let's do another Instagram question. Aries, God of War 3, Papa Swolio, bro, how do you get better abs? Well, you exercise them, but you need to be less fat. You need to take care of your health and cut out estrogenic things in your environment, foods, all these other endocrine disruptors like perfumes and household cleaners and synthetic fabrics and polyester and all these different chemicals in your environment. You need to, I said, cut down inflammatory foods, drink more water, quality sleep. These are all things that do matter. Sleep and quality food are going to be the number one things. You can get abs and still wear Old Spice. It's not helping you, but in other words, the more serious you take it, the further you go down this road, you realize how many poisons and toxins are in your environment and how much you've been lied to. And it snowballs. You know, you start there. You start with doing elimination diet, cutting out inflammatory foods. And then the more you learn, the more you're like, you get pissed off. You get pissed off at the matrix, right? You get pissed off at all the lies and the deception. It just snowballs. The more you get into it, because when you start feeling better and you start losing extra body fat and inflammation, you sleep better. You're like, well, how can I make it even better? Oh, let me make the room colder. Or let me block out all the LEDs. Let me change my lights to red at night. Let me go to sleep at a better time. Let me meditate before I go to sleep. You start wanting to feel even better. Wow, I feel this great. Can I feel better? I know I could do more. And then you start learning more things and you add this. So it doesn't mean you don't have to do everything that I say all at once. I didn't. But as I learn, as I experiment, as I try these things, I share them with you. So you might get there someday, but you don't have to do it all at once. But to be aware of these things and to ignore them, well, you're just being completely, you want that cognitive dissonance. You just want to ignore the reality in front of your eyes. That's your problem. Let's see, Guy on the Telegram. So I went to my first chiropractic session a few days ago. Lumbar is forward to an insane degree, and my hips are slightly off, making one leg sit longer than the other. Doing a lot of driving yesterday and today. Should I be forcing the lumbar support into my back from the seat, or should I relax it? Could the seat lumbar be making my lower lumbar spine worse? No, it's going to be your hip well, I mean, I'm not going to say it's going to be your hip flexors. It's your hip mobility. It's your hip flexors being tight and weak. It's your glutes not being activated. It's your intrinsic core. So you don't want like a round slouched back, because then you're going to have like forward head and excessive cervical extension. So you should be drawing in your stomach. You should be practicing vacuums and stuff while you're driving. You can use your lumbar support, but it's really because you have an anterior pelvic tilt. So you go to your chiropractor, it's a muscle imbalance. It's because your muscles are out of whack and you're sitting and you're probably leaning to one side and you have, asymmetrical shifting going on too. Let's see. Yeah, I personally don't have any experience with inversion tables, but doing dead hangs are fantastic. If anything, if you do inversion though, I am aware that you just don't want to like go completely full upside down. Just start light. Can help you. Rihanna, where do you go for the dog foods? Been reading Estrogeneration and briefly mentioned about stuff in pet food, but haven't seen much for that yet. Feed them raw food. Cats and dogs are carnivores. So give them raw meat. Give them ground beef, grass-fed ground beef. Like feed them what you feed them. You can get grass-fed organ meats online. You can find these things on, I don't know if ButcherBox has these, but a lot of these companies sell pet foods too. And some of them make they have like chicken, they have fish, they'll have like turkey. They have like different blends. So there's a lot of companies out there that do it. US Wellness Meats. I don't know if White Oak Pastures does it, but a lot of times these online meat companies, and usually it's probably just like a lower, not technically meets the standards for human food grade, but feed your dogs what you would eat. You don't have to feed them ribeyes, but that's what they would eat. Steak, bones. They eat real food. I just mix. We have grass-fed beef with heart and liver, and then mash in a little bit of cooked sweet potato, and they fucking eat that all the time. There we go. All right.
Crucifixion was good. Out of the door, line on the left, one cross each.
Oh, there's the Tainty Man. And as you know, if you're a listener to the show, you know only the Tainty Man can. Only the Tainty Man can. Only the Tainty Man can. Frank, Papa Swole, you need to cut back on membership. Does premium get the kitchen? No, I don't believe. I think it's only for unlimited. I would just go on the membership site, go to SolarMSX.com/memberships and check the comparison. It's all there. But unlimited gets access to everything, as you know. And if you have any questions about the membership, just send us an email to support@SolarMSX.com. Or use the live chat on the site. Will, how do I stick to my diet? By sticking to your diet. When I'm home, I stick with it, but when I head home to my parents' place, they keep pushing food on me. What do? Bring your own food. You can't expect your unless they ask hey, what can we get for you? And they do it, but bring your own food. You can't expect other people to have your shit. They keep pushing food on you. You're bring your own food. You make it a point. Why don't people stand up for themselves? If you want to eat your own shit, then eat your own shit. Bring it. In other words, you know this already, Will. This is your fault. You know that when you go back to your parents, whatever your reason is, I don't know what your lifestyle is like, and do you mean you're staying there for a while or you're just visiting? Bring your own food. Hey, I'm training and I'm eating this. I'm bringing my own food. A lot of parents or mothers and stuff, their love language is feeding you. So you have to make sure that they're aware. This is not. It's not that I don't like your cooking. It's I am eating these things because they make me feel good and I have allergies. and sensitivities that I'm like noticing, blah, 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 blah. Just bring your own shit. Don't depend on anyone to have your shit. If you're going somewhere, bring your own food. Otherwise, it's your fault for not being prepared, right? All right, let's see here. Lacey, set the safety strap on an inversion table. I learned. Oh, yeah. Do you mean like a strap? Yeah. Whatever you do, you can get stuck on those things. So don't go too far upside down. You could pass out and black out. Like, make sure you're not, just go very, very light and don't do it too long, and have whatever safety protocols you need around you to make sure that you don't get stuck. There's a lot of stories of people calling 911 and stuff from getting stuck upside down. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Let's take another call. We got one from, Richard Trickle. Can I call you Dick Trickle? I will.
Would you consider close grip dumbbell bench press a good exercise for your triceps?
Close grip, good question. Thank you. Close grip dumbbell press, a good exercise for triceps. I guess holding them together. Well, I consider it a good one. I guess it would be a good one. Would it be the most optimal one? Like, would you get the most activation? No. Remember, you want to get the muscle full stretch. So when you're doing a close grip, like, you could do more of like a skull crusher, bringing them down. But if you're going here, keeping them together, you're not getting a lot of you can get more stretch for your triceps. So you're not really maximizing the stretch for the triceps. So they're a better exercise out there. Like, that's why cables are one of the best things you can do. Cables, overhead extensions, excuse me. Those are a couple there. You might also want to do cable. A good way to do cable, take the abs out of it, is to go on an incline and have it pulling from behind you. Do triceps extensions with the cable coming from up behind you on an incline bench. So, yeah, cable push downs are one of the best exercises for triceps. Lying extensions are great too, so you can hit the long head as well. Overhead extensions are good. So depending on if you have cables, if you use bands, there's different angles for that. It's a decent exercise. But you're getting your anterior deltoid too. You're getting some chest. There's better exercise for range of motion. But that's subjective. So what is good? What does good mean? Right? If you feel like crazy, you get tons of results and it's like crushing, like, wow, I see like my triceps popping when I've been adding this to my routine, then go for it. So like an exercise that might not work great for one person might work better for another for whatever reason. But, do you like it? Are you getting benefits from it? Is it working for you? That's much more important than whether I think it's a good exercise. But there are a lot of exercise. Like, some people love dumbbell for triceps, like, single arm overhead tricep extension. Some people love cable. Some people love bands. Some people love triceps kickback. Some people hate them. It really comes down to what you're testing and what works best for you. All right. Dylan Palmatier, can you help me afford a gym membership? I'm 15 and got rejected from Winn-Dixie. Can I help you afford a gym membership? Not financially, like, I'm not going to pay for a gym membership for you, but I will say that you do not need a gym membership to go to the fucking gym. You can train anywhere. You could do pull-ups at the park. You can get a cheap pull-up bar. You could do push-ups. You could practice yoga. You can train anywhere. The world is your gym. And let me tell you, this rejection from Winn-Dixie, one, is awesome because there are other places to work, shocking enough, besides Winn-Dixie. There are many places where just keep on trying. You get rejected once, you're just going to give up? You're just going to give up? I don't think so, Dylan. I think you're better than that. So you got rejected from one job. So then, okay, no job for me. Fuck that shit. Go door to door and ask to take out the trash, or does anyone need their yard raked, and go rake leaves for $20 or something like that. Like you can be an entrepreneur. You can go and create your own, like go create your own business. Hey, I'm trying to afford my first gym membership. Can I rake your yard for $20? Or go to a gym and see like, hey, can I clean? Can I hand out flyers? Or can I, why not? Maybe you can get a job at a local gym. Like, hey, I really want to work here, maybe be a personal trainer someday, and I really want a gym membership, but I can't afford it. Like, do you have a job? I'll do anything. Maybe. So keep on trying. Don't just give up. Don't just give up. And you'll feel so much more proud of yourself for getting it. I remember my first jobs. We all have them. All right, we went over the calls. Any other questions? Drop in the comments down below. Let's see. Medea. Papa Swolio, why do I feel my quads working and not my glutes when I do glute-focused exercises such as barbell hip thrusts? Well, you're feeling them probably because of the eccentric. So for example, when you're doing barbell hip thrusts on the lowering portion, so one of the muscles of the quads, the rectus femoris, crosses the hip joint. So it's actually shortening when you are in the downward motion. So when you're in the downward motion, you're not just boom, dropping it down, you're controlling on the way down. So it's working eccentrically. So you're feeling it in your, and so are the other muscles in your quads, because your knees are flexing more. So your quads are working eccentrically, controlling the weight on the way down. Chances are you're not sucking in your stomach, you're not tucking your hips, you're not in a posterior tilt, or you're not activating your glutes properly before you do that. The weight could be too much, could be your foot positioning too. Those could be things. How much weight are you doing? You're trying to go really heavy. You might be working too quickly. I would drop the weight, squeeze at the top, and slowly lower down, squeezing your glutes for like 4 or 5 or 6 seconds. Drive up, hold for a couple seconds at the top. You also might want to get those tube bands and practice keeping your toes completely straight and driving with your upper thigh and knees out, working lateral tube walking. We have that in the instructional video library in the glute awareness program. It's great for activating your glutes, the gluteus medius. So it's probably one of those. That's the reason why you're feeling in your quads. And understand that the glutes are like one of, if not the most, I think it's like the strongest muscle in the body, technically. Very thick, dense muscles. So because of their capacity and the limited stretch, you're not getting a ton of stretch on them in full range of motion, that it's very, very common to find weaker muscles kind of give out and feel fatigue before the glutes even kind of get, before the glutes get tickled. Bekarusa, I'm only going to address this because it's fucking retarded. Says no man should ever do yoga unless gay, then it's understandable. That's a stupid, ignorant, like I said, retarded comment. Yoga was actually created by men. It was actually, men were the only ones that were allowed to do yoga, like long back in the day in India. So men were the only ones that were allowed to practice yoga back in the day. So definitely not only for gay people, but it's good. It's good for everyone. Hey, gay people like yoga too. All right, let's see here. Dark Inferno. Papa Swole, what's the purpose of the clubs and the movements? Curious. Excellent for tendons and ligaments in your hands, elbows, shoulder. Great for shoulder mobility. It's great for core integrity. A lot of times with the Persian meals and the joris and the gada with the mace, it was originally designed and used for like wrestling to strengthen the muscles to like pull someone over your shoulder. So it's great for grip strength. It's great for small musculature. endurance. It helps everything. So the muscles in your hands, muscles in your wrists and your shoulders and your elbows. It's fantastic. Just start light, practice frequently, and just build up slowly. It takes a lot longer than other types of training because it's not the muscles per se. It's more about using the momentum, and it's also strength, but it's really about the tendons and ligaments, which take a lot more time to develop. So one of the worst things you can do is jump up in weight too fast because you think you're strong and you don't have the proper mobility and the proper connective tissue integrity yet, and you can hurt yourself. I've done that before. So not fun. Not fun. Malber214. We'll take a few more questions. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio in the comments down below. What do you think about CrossFit and calisthenics? Nowhere close to the same thing. So I think calisthenics are fine. Push-ups, pull-ups, rings, things like that. Fantastic. These are both tools. CrossFit is a brand. And, you know, to think that CrossFit is like a proper methodology for training, it's really a lot of random exercise and high-risk movements that, in my opinion, if you do CrossFit, you're getting better at CrossFit. Doesn't necessarily make you, doesn't necessarily get you the results that you think you're going to get. A lot of people do it because it seems fun. It seems like, hey, I want to look like some of these people on TV, but a lot of them are taking all sorts of shit. Yeah, it's mostly tested. Fucking shit. You know, it's a lot of random amalgamation of exercises that are often high risk and shouldn't be done in high repetitions or to failure. There are a lot of, you know, issues. Very common to get hurt. It's just not necessarily the right approach for most people that want to look a certain way and get healthier. You know, it doesn't mean you can't flip tires, doesn't mean you can't do rope climbs and stuff like that. But if you want specific outcomes that most people do, like, hey, I want to build muscle and lose weight, let me just do CrossFit. It's like, that's not an on-ramp thing. It's not something like, hey, I've never worked out before, let me just start doing snatches. So it depends. And of course, it's very shotgunned. It depends on who's guiding you and who's educating you and who's teaching these classes. A lot of times there's a lot of people doing the same thing. So quality over quantity. A lot of times there's quantity over quality. There's a lot of people training at the same time. There's not a lot of oversight and, you know, high risk movements done fast or for time into fatigue, into failure. So just be mindful. Just be mindful. A lot of people like it because of the community. I don't blame you. Like going to a place and you have your friends there. It's like going to the gym and seeing someone like, hey, what's up? And talking to the front desk person and then seeing the guy that's always there at the same time. You're like, hey, what's up, Mike? You know, and you spot each other, stuff like that. A lot of people, it got big from the community. Yeah, it got big from the community aspect because group exercise is always looked at as like, you know, Jane Fonda, you know, you're grabbing pink dumbbells and kind of doing Zumba type stuff. And then it's really group exercise that kind of, you know, kind of spawned from like the P90X type mindset. I think it was before P90X. I forget, like, I think it was like late 90s or something like that. And literally this kind of like jack of all trades approach to training. But of course, you're limiting proper adaptation and progression on exercise. So it's very high risk. And of course, when you're doing any kind of like explosive movements and Olympic movements that take years and years and years and years of professional coaching and real practice, you don't learn how to do proper snatches and shit in like a fucking year or months. Like it's a long time to practice and master these movements. So it depends on why you're doing it. I mean, if you know why you're doing it, you know, it might not be the best approach, or, you know, people are going to do it. So I kind of just gave up on, like, I don't care if people do CrossFit, but, you know, it depends on, a lot of these things are just different tools, and people do that thinking they're going to look like someone they saw in the CrossFit games, you know, on TV or something like that. Scottish bloke asking a very serious question. Papa Swole, would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 10 duck-sized horses? 10 duck-sized horses. Like, absolutely. 1,000% 10 duck-sized horses. Yo, have you seen ducks get savage? Those fuckers can get, like, a duck the size of a horse. The fuck out of here. No, Hell no. I just climb a tree. Horses can't climb trees. Fucking crazy, dude. 10 duck-sized horses all day long. I've seen ducks go fucking nuts. No thanks. What are like horse-sized ducks gonna do? Or duck-sized horses gonna do? Like step on your toes? Ouch. Just like I'll step up on a stool and they're just gonna run a circle around you and you're safe. Now I've seen ducks and geese go absolutely apeshit. Fuck that. It's an easy question. All right. We talked about this at length, so I'm just going to kind of address this. Chris, Dat Engineer, what do you need as equipment if you want to work out from home? Reference the first part of this podcast if you want to talk more about home gym stuff. So I'm not going to get into like all the stuff. We talked about a lot. We had a question about a piece of home gym equipment, and then I went off on like all these different types of things you can do. So I'm not going to get into all that again. Rihanna, bison or lamb if you didn't get beef? Good question. Probably bison. Lamb is really good too. Like if you're asking me, like if I had one choice, if I could only get one, I would get bison first. Lamb is great too. Lamb is excellent. Both are good. But my first choice would be bison. Bison. Borges Days is Papa, how to get over your ex if you can't stop obsessing over him. I do go to the fucking gym daily. Oh, your ex has that. Because can't get over the eggplant, huh? All right. So, Papa, how to get over your ex if you can't stop obsessing. I do go to the fucking gym daily. All right. She's like, I already go to the fucking gym. So chill out with that. Chances are, I would say start focusing on yourself, start practicing mindfulness and meditation. I would start being more introspective on your past and maybe your own compensations or traumas, or and learn more about how you perceive love and how you receive these types of affirmations in your relationships, because a lot of times people are projecting their own previous experiences onto new people and irrationally expecting or without being consciously aware, looking for people that match similar experiences, or perhaps that match, you know, your parents' relationship or lack thereof. And there's like this innate desire to like either experience that again, or to try to solve it, or to, you know, fix it, X, Y, and Z. There's a lot of deep shit there, but you know, time solves everything. So that, just what I said before, might just kind of get you thinking about a couple different things. But there's a lot of people. It's just important to not look for like the one. There's no such thing. Life isn't a fucking Disney movie. So, you know, there's 7.5 billion people in the world. And there are many people that you could be with and match up with really well and have great relationships with. So it's a matter of, you know, understanding who you are and, you know, maybe what your own, not biases are, but what your own predispositions are and what your own patterns are. And then start addressing them. But time solves everything. So I don't know how long it's been, but time solves all things. But the gym is definitely a foundation. It's going to keep you focused. It's going to keep you focused on developing yourself. And because you're not watching live, it's hard. This is an Instagram question. It's hard to really get into that without having more context. And of course, I'm not a therapist. I'm not, this isn't Papa Swolio's couch. But I'm wondering, why you're obsessing. Because a lot of times things, it could have been your fault. Why there was a breakup. A lot of times when you're with someone because you see yourself in them and you think that's what you have to match up, is like you have to be like the same person. Or you break up because they weren't becoming the person that you thought you saw or thought they would become, rather than being with them and loving them for who they are and not trying to change people. Or a lot of that comes from yourself and predispositions for that. If it's a cyclical pattern, I mean, you're just dropping a comment on Instagram like about how to get over your ex. My best advice, just, aside from all those other things that maybe you're listening to this podcast and you're hearing some other things about it, you might kind of get you thinking. But bottom line, you need to work on yourself. It always comes down to that. It always comes down to working on yourself. Time will heal. Keep training, take care of yourself, develop yourself, meditate. I would really go hardcore in meditation. Maybe you should be doing maybe like a meditation retreat, learning more about that, going deeper on yourself, and it can help you be a more complete person for yourself, and then of course for the next person that comes across. Get the little zoomy. That's another good piece of advice from Loretta. Stay away from your ex's social media. Won't help, makes it worse probably. Yeah, don't stalk social media. Like block him. Block him, not because you're a mean person, but block the person. Block because, one, he's your ex. Leave it that way. You don't want to, like, he texts you out of nowhere and then 2 a.m. like, hey, what are you doing? I miss you, babe. It's like block, because you don't want to see the post and you don't want to be tempted to look at those posts. And what if you see him with someone else? Like, that's not healthy. It's not healthy for you at all. It's not going to help you move forward. It's not going to help you navigate. It's just going to be a distraction. So you might need a break. Most people need a break from social media. But if that's like what's holding you back, that's the worst thing when it comes to an ex. Especially if you're not mature enough to handle social media, or wasn't your decision. You don't want shit like that popping up on your feed. You don't want stuff like that. It's going to drive you insane. Like, don't torture yourself. So I gave a lot more opinions there, or maybe just more ideas when it comes to potentially what you were going through. Because I don't know how many times this has happened. I don't know if this is something that was recent. Maybe you're irrational. Maybe you're being completely irrational. It's something from 2 years ago and you're just like driving yourself nuts since then. Maybe it's fresh. This is just leave it. It's done. You can't be friends with it's like, we're friends with an ex. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Focus on yourself. Develop yourself as an individual. That's the best way to go. Bahav 677. Papa Swolio, what do you prefer, steam bath or ice bath? What do I prefer? I mean, I love the sauna. I have a steam sauna, and I like the cold plunge too. So I don't prefer one over the other. I like both. Like if I could only have one, ooh, damn son. Oof. If you ask me that question, I don't even know anymore. Might be sauna, because I think the health benefits are more. God, I don't know. The cold plunging has been life-changing too, but so is sauna. Yeah. It's a tough call. I mean, objectively, health-wise, sauna has been quantified as it is a massive benefit. Anyway, that's not the question. Should we do before workout or after? A steam bath. So I'm just going to treat steam bath, like, I don't know what you mean, like a hot bath. I'm going to treat both You said steam bath. I'm assuming a hot bath. That's different than like a sauna or an ice bath. I'm just gonna go with heat and cold, like sauna. I'm just gonna generalize this for most people. If you were, so I do cold first thing in the morning. First thing in the morning, one of the first things, if not the first thing I do, is 2 or 3 minutes in the cold plunge. After a workout, usually after, because I don't want to dehydrate myself before a workout. After a workout at some point, like I'm going to do it after the show, I'm going to do sauna. So I don't do, and then I'll do sauna sometimes right after workout, usually a little bit later. And oftentimes I'll do cold afterwards, then get back in the sauna and warm up. It's like a nice contrast therapy. But I never do cold plunge immediately after training. So I don't like work out hard and then jump in the cold plunge, because that can negatively affect your body's repair of muscle tissue, in the sense of it can negatively affect hypertrophy if you do it immediately after. I'm not exactly sure of the time frame, but I just don't do it immediately after. I used to be like, I'm not going to do it after I work out, I only do in the morning. But then I also feel better doing it at night too, after the sauna. So I don't restrict myself like that. But if I'm training in the late morning or the early afternoon, and then I'm sauning like at 8 o'clock at night, I'm plunging after, I'm like, that's enough time for me. It's not that hot. Sean says cold bath has been quantified too. Yeah, they're both good. Sauna is quantified for near 200 for 30 minutes to get the benefits. It doesn't have to be that hot and that long. It's usually at like at least 25 minutes, I think, at like 180, 170, 180. But bottom line, I mean, it depends on how they're testing it, but bottom line, the hotter and the longer you can do it, just, yeah, as hot as you can for as long as you can is pretty much the answer. But I think there's other information or research that like cold plunging, 200, no one's doing 200, not 200 for 30 minutes. It's not that hot for the studies that have shown benefits for sauna. It was not that hot, and don't think it was 30 minutes. But the hotter you can do it, the longer, of course. It depends on the person too. But what was I going to say? Cold is awesome though. They're both so good. I don't know which one. If you had to say, okay, you can only choose one. I don't know. I think cold is great. And that's the thing. Like I really, in the past I would have said sauna. Now I'm almost a fan of the cold more. I'm almost a fan of the cold more. Yeah, but that's not the studies from, was it Finland? Finland or Norway was doing the other studies. I think it was like 175 or 180, like 4 times a week or 5 times a week. Anyway, do it hot, do it long, and just build up from there. Rihanna, where did you how'd you set up your sauna? I have an inside. We put it inside. You can get the barrel saunas and put it outside. Mine's almost heaven. I ordered from the company. But we put it inside. I didn't want it outside. So we have it right in our living room area, kind of like in between the living room area-ish. So we have an indoor. And I got it's like a 2 to 3 person sauna. I'm really the only one ever in there. I use it 99% of the time. I use it pretty much every day. And then I got that, and then the upgraded heater. So I got like the most powerful one they had at the time. So it heats up quick and gets really hot. And I like it because you can pour water on it and make it some steam and stuff like that. So yeah, just build up. I mean, the frequency, I think, is the best part of it. So like as Sean was saying, like, yeah, you definitely want it. You definitely want it hot. So the hotter and the longer you can do it, the longer and the hotter you can do it. But it takes time. It's like anything else. When you're in hot, it takes time to build up the endurance. And plus when I'm in the sauna, because it's like 2 levels, there's like a little tiny seat on the side, and then there's like a little elevation. So when I'm sitting up there, it's like my head is like on fucking fire. So you can do is you could take like a cold towel or something like that and then put it around your head and breathe through it because like the air is really hot, a lot hotter at the top of the sauna, of course, than the bottom. So the temperature is not always accurate because you're sitting up. You're not like your head's not down. So wherever you have the thermometer, it also makes a difference. Yeah, when I had Sean saying the sauna is it's like doing cardio. Yeah, it's cardio mimicking benefits. And I remember we talk about the Whoop strap. Remember I said I got that and I wore it for like a couple months and never really paid attention to the data. It didn't work a lot of the time and it was left a mark on my wrist. I don't think it's still there. I didn't like it at all. I don't like wearable tech like that. I just didn't like having it on my wrist. Kind of a pain in the ass. But when I was in the sauna, you would see the heart rate. Like you would see it. Vroom. It was like sustained cardio. It looked like I was doing cardio. It looked like I was doing cardio. Like the way the heart rate increased and maintained. That was cool to see, though. It is cool to see some of that stuff. Sean, I work in a cath lab, and the docs have raved about cold baths. It actually builds new venous pathways after doing it for around 2 to 3 months. That's the thing. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good for you. Like I'm just thinking. It's not like anyone's holding me back and like, hey, you can only choose one. But if that was the question, which one would you choose? Ooh. I don't know. So when we moved to the house, the thing that I was most excited about was the sauna. Like I always wanted my own sauna. And then once we moved in, I kind of learned about, cold plunging and I looked up and I was like, I want to get one of those. And I just knew it was going to be good. I knew I was going to like it. I knew it was going to be really good for me, but I didn't realize how good. Like it's a game changer too. You don't need that much time. So a lot of, you see these guys like Wim Hof and like then they're for like an hour. I don't do excessively long. Like I don't do ridiculous. I kind of did. I was always trying to like push myself. I just do whatever I feel comfortable. I just do at least 2 minutes. I just do at least like 2 minutes. And then afterwards, sometimes I go longer. Sometimes I'll go up to like 3, 4, 5. But I've never tried or desired had any like I want to try to do 10 minutes or 15. It's like there's a certain point I think it's like most things it's just not necessary. And part of it was because in the morning I want to like invigorate myself. I want to wake up. But if any of you have done cold, and my cold plunge is like around 39 degrees, 40 degrees. So if you do it for a few minutes, you'll have like the shivers for a while and it can set you back. Like it takes you a while to kind of get back and going and come back to society. So if I do, it depends on how long I do. If I want to get myself going in the morning. I don't want to like spend a while like being cold and shivering. Like I want to kind of get up and get going. So anywhere between 2 and 3 minutes is like a sweet spot for like I can feel my body relax. After like 1 or 2 minutes, your body kind of like relaxes. And then after that, it's like, okay, I'm good. I dunk my head and stuff like that. And I'm up and going. But if I try to push it, then go through like the next layer of like the next round of like shakes and stuff, I don't want to be sitting there chattering and trying to get warm for a while. I want to get up and train or do the show. And if I come in here and it's cold in here, like it's going to take me a while to kind of get back into it. So let's see. But at night too. So you can do a cold shower. So if any of you, you can get, for example, you can get one of those like feeder troughs. You can fill it with water. You can fill it with frozen ice bottles. You can buy ice from the store. You can get like an ice barrel, which is like $1,000. And it's like a vertical barrel and you can put it outside. And if you live in a cold climate, you can just break the ice every day. You can also have like a heater that you put in the bottom, one of those like, that keeps the water kind of like thawed, but not warm. So there's different ways you can make your own, but you can start with cold showers. If you're afraid of cold water, just start off with like maybe doing 10 seconds of cold at the end of your shower and then build it to 15 seconds and then 30 seconds and then a minute. Just get into cold showers. It's great. All right, we're about done. Wait, Tyler, can dunking your head in a bucket of ice water be the same as a cold shower? Not if it's not your whole body. Your whole body. It's important to get your whole body cold. Let's see. Papa Swole, do you do water filtering for the shower? Good question. We're looking into, I want to. We're looking into like, we have like a whole series of things we're trying to do here. So we're looking on we use like a Berkey filter. We use like gravity filtration or like reverse osmosis countertop. But you should, we want to get something like on the hot water heater or something like that. Because, we want to put like one of those water filtration systems. I'm not sure if you have to do it under every sink or just one by the hot water heater and kind of see, where that goes. That way we can do it at the source and we don't have to like because a lot of times those attachments that you have, they aren't really that great, So I'd rather have like a multi-stage filtration at the source. So if anyone has any information or like a good brand or recommend, but, Midnight Rider, if you fall off one meal, one day, one weekend, do you have to start the elimination diet all over again? I mean, it's, you're going to have to be back on it for at least a few days. Why were you falling off? One meal, one day, one weekend. Is it one meal? Is it one day? Or is it one weekend? Or is it a meal on a day that happened to be the weekend? And why? Why fall off if you're doing the elimination diet? But do you have to start all over again? I mean, because the whole point is like to clear out hardcore and then test one at a time. So you test, go back on the elimination, you observe for a day or two, and then you test another food. So just make sure you do it back for another week or two or something. I don't know how long you were doing it for. To that point, depends. If you went off, how do you feel as a result, and how long were you doing it for? All right, time to give away today's Swole card. Beaches Dick Draft. Do we have any volunteers? Life happens asking for a friend. Life happens? Don't make excuses. Life happens. We all have the same life. Either you did it or you didn't do it. Life happens. Come on, man. Come on. Freddie, bite his dick off. I'm just kidding. All right, hashtag Dick Draft. Dick Draft happens. One of you is getting volunteered. Will it be an officer? Will it be a general? Or will it be a foot soldier? That's going to have to... Oh, it's Robin. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Robinho. Robin, congratulations. You have won today's Dick Draft card. Send us an email to support@swolenumbers.com. Swole card 2368 in the subject, your mailing address in the body of the email. Yes, I know, Falcon. Congratulations. Isn't that fantastic? Isn't that fantastic? It's wonderful. Congratulations, Robin. And fam, I know I'm going to see you. Won't I see you? I'll see you when I see you. I'm going to see you tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. Mañana. Tomorrow, Swole fam. See you at noon. We got new stuff to talk about. We'll take some more questions. We'll talk more about, I don't know. We'll talk more about whatever you want to talk about. Live call mañana. Let's see. Let's check out the Tainty Man. Let's see what else we got. Oh, Tainty Man. Oh, good boy. Where's my Tainty boy? You're such a gentleman. Fantastic. We'll take some soundboard requests too, huh? Drop that in the comments down below. Oh, Tainty boy. Oh, my Tainty man.
Dodson, we've got Dodson here.
Oh, Tainty boy, I love you. I see you, Tainty man. I see you, little Tainty. You're so sleepies. Why are you so sleepy, Tainty man? Rufus, Tainty boy. Rufus the Tainty man. Good boy. Good boy.
You can be fat and be healthy. I'm sorry, Lizzo, healthier than I will ever be.
Good questions, fam. Good questions. I appreciate all the feedback and the information. Go sauna or cold plunge. And like Sean said, jack that shit up to 200, nay, 250. Why settle for 200? Come on. Don't be a chode. Just fucking boil yourself like a crab. God damn.
Come on, man.
Boil that shit. Turn that shit up to 11. Roast that shit. Roast those nips right off.
I fart in your general direction.
What happened to your queer party friends?
Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
Boom shakalaka!
Look at this in the hole. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Quick release. No hands. If you're new, you're like, how the fuck did he play the piano with no hands? If you're not new, you knew it was the piano card. You fucking knew.
Because
You knew. You knew. If you're OG, you knew that Papa Swolio's slinging some veiny dong. And I'm undefeated to this day. To this day, I have never missed a key. Never have, never will. Only on the Daily Swole. So tomorrow, 2369 is our accountability meeting for members only. We will see you at 12 noon Eastern time. Tyler says, where's church? She is on the church perch. Do you want some church? Church, 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 church. Oh, you're asleep. But she's sleeping. But she's sleeping. You were sleeping. Daddy's waking you up? No? Do you want to say hi to the fame? No? Poor thing was sleeping. She's like, all right. Can I have a kiss? No? All right. Well, there you have it. There you have it. Okay. Good girl. Sorry, Mama. All right. Sorry. Little church purse. Speaking of, let's see. Oh, there's the Tanty boy. How's that foot taste? How is it? Is it good? It's all right. You can chew it if you want. You can suck your toes. Kind of weird. All right, fam. We'll see you tomorrow for the accountability meeting, and we'll be back here on Tainty Tuesday. Fantastic. Fantastic. I know. Church, she just had her first little period today. Yeah. She's ready to have babies. Can you imagine her having babies? Anyway. Good girl. They grow up so fast. All right, fam. We'll see you tomorrow for the accountability meeting. We'll be back here for Tainty Tuesday. Peace, McGeese. Deuce, Magoose. Your boy, Papa Swolio. Oh.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I gift rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like
Yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag.
that's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint you. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm